Hello friends, and welcome to beautiful Nicaragua. We are here today at Morgan's Rock Eco Lodge, just wrapping up, finishing our new program called Boho Beautiful Retreat. It's this virtual retreat program that we wanted to bring to life, which will give everyone the opportunity to experience the benefits of a yoga retreat without actually having to leave the comforts of their own home. So this is your virtual yoga retreat that we're creating here, and we're just super excited to bring to this world. So if you want to learn more about it, go ahead and click the link below in the description, bohobeautiful.life, and just check it out. I hope you enjoy it. Now, what I wanted to go through today is something that I think will benefit so many of us, and that is opening and releasing tension out of our hips. Now, most issues that start with your hips and your lower back is because of us sitting for way too long. So many of us have, these desk jobs, and we work at our computers. We even ourselves work a lot on our computers as well. So when you experience this type of tension and pain starting to arise, a lot of the times it's because we're just not giving our bodies the opportunity to release the energy, to stretch it out. So these postures today that I will guide you through are a wonderful addition to your yoga practice or just to your daily everyday stretches, which will ensure that you're not only keeping your hips nice and loose, but you're also preventing any future injuries. Alright, so the first posture I want to teach you, which really helps open up your hips, is called a happy baby pose. Now, if this is the first time you're ever doing this pose, it can feel a little awkward, a little funny sometimes, because it's quite vulnerable to be in that type of position. But if you can get over that, honestly, the benefits your hips are going to experience is so worth it. So let me show you how to do it. You're going to come down onto your back, and then you're going to bring your knees to the chest. From this position, flex your feet, and then start to extend your legs. Now, I'll show you a couple variations that you can do here. Variation 1 is open the legs, bend your knees, and just grab as far as you can. So for a lot of you, it might be up in the ankle area. And then once you grabbed your ankles, keep your legs apart. Start to bend your knees and just pull the knees towards the ground. And just close your eyes and relax your forehead. Keep the flexion in your feet and start to breathe. Second variation is to take it a little step further, is to grab the outsides of your feet. Now, once you got a nice grip of your feet, then again, with each exhalation, you push the knees closer to the floor. Third variation is a little bit more challenging, is to take your peace fingers and then grab your big toes. And then as you're holding onto the toes, you're opening the legs and then pulling your knees close to the ground. Now, once you got into this position, just start to notice how your body's responding. You might want to add a little tiny rock side to side to get a little deeper into the hips. Or you can just stay centered and still. Relax the shoulders, close your eyes, and just breathe. With each exhalation, adding a little bit more tension, pulling your knees a little bit closer down to the ground. And you'll notice that as you're holding this position, the muscles start to let go. So what we're trying to achieve here is to release the muscles around your hip joints. And a lot of the times as well, it can be your psoas muscle, which the psoas actually starts from the lower back and connects to your femur bone, which means if the psoas is tight, then your lower back is starting to feel it and you're going to feel lower back pain. All right, so let's come out. So I'm going to show you also a couple of things you can do to help with your psoas. So come on up to seated position. Now from here, let's come on up to all fours. So a really nice way to release your psoas is in two different postures. The first one is a lizard, and you're going to feel that release through the frontal area of your body. So you're going to take let's start with your left leg and just bring it out to the side of your body. So along the left hand. Then your knee is bent. Start to bring your weight forward and start to begin to feel this extension through the right hip flexor. And this should feel really nice for your body. The next step is to start to roll the foot to the pinky toe area and allow this left knee to fall away from your body. So now we're targeting the right psoas as well as the left hip. And then the next step is to take your hand and just start to push your knee away from your body, just like so. You're going to hold this for maybe a minute if you can, or 2 if that's even better. And just letting go of any tension. Just keep pushing it away. Another variation that is a little bit more challenging, which is something you can graduate to over time, is to tuck your toes and lift your back knee off the floor and hold straight, continuing to let that knee fall away from you, and then make your way down to your elbows. And this is really going to go deep into your hip flexor, into that hip joint. And you're going to hold it here and release. Let's come on up. Let's just do that one more time on the other side, just because I really like you to keep your both legs centered and balanced and not favor one leg over the other. So step your right leg to the right edge of your mat. And this gives you a little more of a viewpoint from the other angle. You're going to push the hips forward. Now, as soon as you push your hips forward, you're going to really feel a nice stretch here. We've been shooting so much in the last week that I'm actually feeling a little bit sore. So this feels so good when you have sore muscles and sore hip flexors. So holding here, and then start to roll your foot to the pinky toe. And as you roll it, you're kind of opening the arch of your foot to face closer towards your face. You're allowing that knee to fall away from your body. And then from here, lift that knee. And you can just stay nice and tall and straight, or you can come down to your elbows and really go deep into this posture. Deep breath in and exhale. Good. And you can hold it again for a minute, 2 minutes. If you want to do this with me, you can pause the video, hold it, and then start the video, and we can move to the next pose. All right, because I'm going to keep moving forward and show you the next posture, which is really good now to go deep into the psoas muscle, to your glutes, which will help relieve tension out of your lower back. So this is called the pigeon pose. So to do a pigeon pose, you can come up into downward dog, or you can just come up halfway if you need to. And then you're going to take your right knee, and you're going to take your right knee towards your right thumb, placing the shin bone onto the floor. And this is where it's going to be a little different for everyone. Now, if you're a complete beginner, and this is way too difficult for you, I want you to bring that back knee down, and then just bring your hips all the way to the right. It's almost like you're falling over to the right. Then from here, just start to turn so your hips are more square, and then come down to your elbows. And you're already going to start to feel this in your glute, in your piriformis, which will help relieve any tension. Now, to make this a little bit more challenging, so if you are a little bit more advanced than a beginner, a full pigeon is to try and stay square. So if you're trying to do a full pigeon, you want to keep walking your heel until you're comfortably, try to get your shin as close to a parallel line, but it's not necessary, just to where you feel your limit. And then you walk the foot back. And here you can also take a prop like a block or a pillow and place it underneath your right glute if you're feeling like you're having to find that balance. And then over time, as your glutes release, then you'll be able to come all the way down and then make your way over to your elbows and hold this deep pigeon pose. Now, the really beautiful thing about when we release tension out of the hips, not only are we releasing physical tension, but there's actually so much emotional energy that's stored in that area of our bodies that we're going to feel this euphoric emotional release sometimes. You know, it is believed that the psoas muscle is actually the seat of our soul. A lot of our emotional state gets energetically trapped in that area of the body. So if we have a lot of negativity, a lot of stress, anxiety, any of those type of emotions, when we get into these deep opening postures, you might start to notice them just coming up. And so if that ever happens to you, don't suppress it. Just let it go, because it means your body needs to get rid of this energy. And so hip opening postures are so powerful for that as well. All right, let's do it one more time on the other leg. We're going to go a little bit faster through it, just so you have the opportunity to balance it out. So again, to get into your pigeon pose, left knee to your left thumb, release the shin, square the hips out, just wiggle your way back. And then again, if you're a beginner, shift your weight all the way over to the side. Come forward. If you're more advanced, you're staying up straight and then making your way down to your elbows. And then eventually actually coming down with your entire body, if possible, resting your forehead on the mat. In these type of postures, I'd recommend you hold for at least 2 to 4 minutes if you can, to really feel incredible benefits. Okay, last posture I'm going to show you here is your butterfly pose, which really opens both of your hips at the same time. Butterfly, bring the soles of your feet together, open your knees nice and wide, hold on to your toes. Now just sit up nice and tall and do a little bounce with the hips, or bounce with the knees. So what we're doing here is just kind of bring a little bit more blood flow into the hip region, warming up your hips a little bit. And then just find that nice balance. Keep holding on to your toes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. So you're reaching up tall. Don't round the back. And then as you exhale, you lead with the chest and then you come all the way down. So you want to make sure that you're not here, but you're actually keeping yourself straight and leading with the chest. And getting your chest as close to your feet as possible. And if you like to go even deeper, take your hands and start to press your knees down. And that's going to really open up those hips and feel so good for your body. And this again, you can hold for 2 minutes, you can hold for 4 minutes, whatever your body can take. And with time, the hips will release and you'll start to feel such incredible benefits overall in your entire body. All right, so I hope this helped clear a couple of things up for you guys, for those of you that have questions about hip opening postures. And again, remember to try and include these as much as you can into your daily practice, because it's going to release so much of your tension physically and emotionally. Thank you again for joining me here in beautiful Nicaragua. Don't forget to check out Boho Beautiful Retreat for a full yoga retreat experience. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.
When the madness is gone and the earthquakes have weathered away, when the breathlessness is hushed and the best is burned to grey, when the magic is lost in passion and promises fades, when tenderness is far